What is up, Star Wars fans? This is Darth Watson. In this video, we're going to be talking about Dave Filoni's Star Wars movie, which is probably going to be called Heir to the Empire, or something that has to do with Thrawn, probably a canon version of the Thrawn trilogy, is what my predictions for the film, what it's going to be about, whether it's a which will likely be a canon version of the Thrawn trilogy, is what I've been predicting. And then Heir to the Empire is what my best guess for the title is for Dave Filoni's Star Wars movie. But Dave Filoni's Star Wars movie is set to come out. We don't know when the release date for Dave Filoni's Star Wars movie is yet, because Dave Filoni says that Ahsoka Season 2 still needs to happen before his Star Wars movie. But Dave Filoni's Star Wars movie is going to be like very interesting in many ways, especially because it's tying into all of the Mandoverse, which is the Mandalorian, Skeleton Crew, Book of Boba Fett, and Ahsoka all together, combining all of the Mandoverse together, and is intended to be a much bigger Star Wars movie than the Mandalorian and Grogu Star Wars movie, which is the reason why I don't believe that Mandalorian and Grogu Star Wars movie and Dave Filoni Star Wars movie fit together in a Star Wars trilogy, nor should it be in a Star Wars trilogy. I feel like Dave Filoni has a plan for his own trilogy that has not yet been announced. Just the first film, which is Dave Filoni's Star Wars movie right now, which is going to be like an Heir to the Empire. So Dave Filoni's Mandoverse crossover movie was announced at Star Wars Celebration, and Mandalorian and Grogu wasn't announced until later. And the reason why I don't believe that Mandalorian and Grogu in Dave Filoni's Star Wars movie fit together to be a Star Wars trilogy is because Mandalorian and Grogu sounds more like a last-minute decision, because we were originally supposed to get Mandalorian Season 4, which we will eventually get. And Mandalorian Season 4 we were supposed to get at one point, and this was coming from MakingStarWars.net, which is a pretty reliable source where Mandalorian and Grogu Star Wars movie would be telling the finale of the Mandalorian Season 4, which was originally supposed to be the two-part finale, and then Mandalorian Season 4 shortened by 6 episodes up until Carl Weathers' death. But when Carl Weathers passed away, who portrays Chief Garga, Jon Favreau, what I'm assuming and guessing is that Jon Favreau took Mandalorian Season 4 off the schedule, replaced it with the Mandalorian and Grogu for now, and reworked the season, decided he wanted to rework the season, and then eventually we will get a Season 4, and it will lead up to the events of the Mandalorian and Grogu Star Wars film. And the Mandalorian and Grogu Star Wars film is only tying into the Mandalorian series, all of the Mandalorian series. It's not tying into all of the Mandoverse like Dave Filoni's Star Wars movie is. So that's why Dave Filoni's Star Wars movie and Mandalorian and Grogu don't fit well in a trilogy. And plus, if Dave Filoni's Star Wars movie is going to be called Heir to the Empire, then that means Dave Filoni could have a trilogy planned already, but the other two films of his trilogy, and Dave Filoni could be working on his own Star Wars trilogy where he would be doing the entire trilogy, writing out the entire trilogy, which is a canon version of the Thrawn trilogy, where the first film is Heir to the Empire, the second film is Dark Forces Rising, and the third film is The Last Command. And plus, the Mandalorian and Grogu Star Wars movie would be by itself and a conclusion to the Mandalorian series. And on top of that, they could do another Star Wars film that takes place after, featuring Luke Skywalker growing a new generation of Jedi, like the Jedi Academy. We could see that eventually take place, where we get a Star Wars movie about Luke Skywalker's new Jedi Academy and how he trained Ben Solo, and probably another follow-up Star Wars movie where it shows how Ben Solo fell to the dark side. So this could be a series of movies that takes place in between episodes 6 and 7. But the Mandoverse, as far as the Mandalorian crossover film that Dave Filoni has planned, it doesn't fit well with the Mandalorian and Grogu and Dave Filoni's Star Wars movie to be a part of a trilogy. And I think it's something much bigger than that. I think that Dave Filoni has a plan for his own Star Wars trilogy, while Jon Favreau is working on The Mandalorian and Grogu, which sounds more like a last-minute decision and is intended to tie into just the Mandalorian series. And Dave Filoni's Star Wars film is intended to be much bigger. But anyways, that's all I have to say for this video. Do make sure to smash a like, subscribe, comment, and I will catch you all later in another video.